It is the 30th of December, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you can see that the fog has finally lifted. Yesterday we had a day of rain, then it turned colder overnight, and now we got a little bit of snow on the ground. Not a lot, just a little, but at least it's not socked in like it was. Temperatures are still below freezing, and for the first time in like a week. Hi, Mama. Good to see you, girl. Good to see you. It is now the 3rd of January, and I'm going to go for a short field walk. Doing something as a test today. I've got the Acaso EK7000 action cam on my Fiu G5 gimbal, and I've got an external mic hooked up, just a cheap little lavalier lapel mic. You can likely see it right there if it's showing properly, and that's going to my cell phone, Samsung S10, on a wire, because the Acaso really has poor sound. So we're going to try it, see how it works, and hopefully I'll be able to sync up the audio in the CyberLink 365 that I've got. First walk of 2024. No snow here today. It's kind of nice. Last year we had snow for weeks but at this time of the year. So it's kind of nice not having snow now. I think we're supposed to start getting some snow. We're supposed to get a couple of centimeters today, but I haven't seen it yet. And I think we're supposed to get some snow next week. Won't be too bad as long as the truck works, the plow works, and we get some cold weather to make sure that the road is firmly frozen before I got to plow. Last thing I want to do is dig up gravel and mud with the blade. One of the neighbor's boat asked where to put it this year. I said, just put it opposite your place, but make sure it's pushed in far enough off the road that I can plow and not hit the tongue. And that's a good place for it. They got trees on both sides, so anybody going into a skid on the corner is not going to hit them. So that's a good spot for a boat. When Ruffy was alive, a little ruffed grouse would come out and follow us along. When I had Reese, we'd take down some of the blossoms or bring down some seed or the sumac blossoms, and he'd eat them. He was a cute little guy. Well, we're going to try to go through the red gate. I don't think I've done this in almost a year, but we'll try it today and just see how it goes. See if I can do it without having to turn off the camera. You know, used to go that way quite often, but I'm going to go this way. Reese would love to go this way with me. And we'd come down. Usually, we come down that little path there, but I'm just going to take this one today. We do this on occasion. Loved it, the back here in the field. Been missing her a lot the last few days. Over New Year's, it was just a year ago, New Year's Day, that we saw some blood for the first time in her urine. And she was still a happy dog right up until the last day in March. Pretty sure it was bladder cancer. And but she never suffered. And happy and just active and happy, and then got up, then collapsed, couldn't walk, totally paralyzed on the left side, and that was the end. She went fast, very fast. My beautiful chocolate lab she was, 12 and a half. I miss her every day. Yeah, sometimes we would take this path and come down that path there, and she'd love to get over by those trees and investigate. Plus, once we cross these rocks here, get onto the next path, well, I just knew what she would do. She would go over into that area there, especially in the winter, walk on the snow. Just loved it. Instead of taking this path here, we're going to see if we can get down through what I call the center swamp on this path. It's just cedar swamp. Gets very wet after a rain or in the spring. So we'll see how we do, because we have had some rain. It could be quite wet in here. Yeah, the Acaso EK7000 is a nice little action cam, very cheap, under $100. And comes with all the accessories you ever need for an action cam. But it's old technology, and the microphone just is absolutely terrible on it. But we'll see how it does with this lavalier, and if I can sync it up in Cyberlink Power Director 365, sync the external audio up with the video when I get doing my editing. Now, over in that direction, we sometimes cut through the trees and come out into the field that way. But we're just going to take this one down here. Not too wet in here right now. This is, in the spring, this is just like a river of mud. Look at the old, that's grapevine, believe it or not. That's grapevine, great big vine that grows up into the trees. You can see another one there, twisting up into the tree. Yeah, I just wanted to get out, do a quick walk, and play with the camera a bit. Give me something to do for editing later in the day. And this is the main cut-through path between the two fields. This goes down to the path down through the swamp, right along the edge of Blackpool Pond. But here we come up. That's where the teepee used to be, the neighbor's teepee, but he moved it to the top of the hill. It's kind of rotting away up there now. And that's a path that sometimes we take that occasionally. I think we took that on her last day. We did a couple of walks back here on her last day. She enjoyed them. Just passing where she got stung by a bee. We're going in the opposite direction. Normally we would come the other way. 99% of the time we would come the other way and walk in the opposite direction. But I'm doing this for a change because I don't have many videos of it in this direction. Well, here's a tree that's broken. Oh yeah, top of a small tree snapped off, broken across the path here. I'm gonna just climb the hill. Years ago, there was a fox that had a den back here with babies, and she'd sit up here on this path and see and watch for me at the field trail cam where I put out food, because she could see me coming from up here. I'd see her up on the hill. And then she lost one of the babies to a coyote, and darn didn't she move the rest over by me, right on my property into the old den, and raise them there. She knew, okay, coyotes know where my den is out here. I'll go over to the food dude's place. I know I'll be safe over there. Here's the path we would normally come out on, or go back in, I should say. It takes us back down toward the field cam and home. And I'm just going to circle around. Years ago, when I had my other dog, Sinsin, there was nothing back here. It was just an open field. We'd walk back here sometimes, and I always found it very beautiful just to stand out here in the quiet, because you'd only hear the wind blowing, especially when there was no cars or anything on the highway the other side of the woods. But it was beautiful, especially in the fall. Some of these trees really turn nice. So this is the ATV track that the neighbors built when they were putting in the garden we just passed. Then he had an accident with his hand, bad infection, darn near took him, and never did get full use of it back. So he hasn't been doing much work the last few years. So the garden's kind of gone into disrepair. I used to wander back in through here all the time. In the wintertime, I'd have to break my own trail, find the natural openings between these trees, and break a path that way. Place was looking pretty good. Finally got a lot of the siding and stuff on it this year. And that's what you see there. It's my garage and inside those trees. Well, it looks like he's putting up a security cam there, or some kind of a cam. He's got the ladder up and I can see the cam at the top. Well, he's taking down his lights. We'll cut in through the garage. Last summer the fox would run up and down across this garage lot here. Head down toward the den just past the door of the garage there. But that's the garage and my trailers. And back to the house we go. It's the snowblower underneath the tarp. And that's it for this edition of Walk in the Field. This is the east yard where I feed the critters at night. And that's it.